Hello, my name's Gary Miyakawa. I'm here to talk to you about the HDX product line, specifically the HDX 8000 and their sister products, the 8000, 7000, 6000. I'm going to show you how they go together, maybe how to start them up, how to configure it, and how to make a video call. So we're going to go through the parts and pieces that we have here to show you. So we're going to start out. This is the codec. This is the big guy. He's the guy who does all the hard work. He's the one that all the money gets spent for, basically. So the camera's expensive too. On the back side of the codec, you'll see all the working area. Basically, they're the inputs and the outputs. On this side, they happen to be the camera inputs, camera 1, camera 2. Below that will be your content input. That's where you plug in your laptop when you want to send content. The ITU standard name for content is H239, so you may have heard it called that. Some other vendors may have it under a different name. I know one that calls it Duo Video, but they're all basically similar. As long as they meet standards and H239 standards, then they should be able to communicate and send presentations. Okay. Below that are some ports that are used for VCR connectivity, for VCR in and VCR out. You'll notice that the VCR in is limited and VCR out is limited to S video. That's what we expect in and out for the VCR. If you happen to have a VCR. Digital video recorder would also work there too. So we do in and out using S-video and standard audio. Below that are my two monitor ports. It's going to be monitor port 1 and monitor port 2. They are DVI ports. So we expect to have DVI coming out of this, though we have configuration capabilities to allow us to adapt that to be component with a cable, and I'll show you that in a few minutes, or possibly DVI to to a VGA adapter. That would work also. And you'd use a software configuration on the codec itself to tell the codec what format to send it out. And we can take an output all the way up to a 1080p output, so it's 1920 by 1080. So we have that. Down here's the power supply, standard power cord, 110 to probably 240. I've never pushed it past that, though in the US it tends to be 110. Above that I have two RJ45 connections. One is the RJ45 for the IP port coming in. The other is a Siamese port coming back out. So you can actually come in with the cable and then come out and plug that into your laptop if you wanted to, or maybe an IP phone or something like that. Be cautious though, that output port, should the codec be turned off, also gets turned off, so it's not an always on port. Above that, in the little blue range right here, that happens to be my alternate network connectivity port. That port happens to be used for PRI, ISDN connectivity for PRI, or BRIs. The BRI adapter, or doghouse as we laughingly call it sometimes, it allows us to plug in 4 BRI ports. Okay, so that'd be a total of about 512K call. Certainly on a PRI port we could go all the way up to, depending on what